Welcome to this unforgettable story. This is the story about a boy who fought against injustice even when it was dangerous. He is known worldwide as a symbol of peace, courage, forgiveness, and equality. And this story is also great for your English. Because while you listen, you will learn how to understand stories, how to follow details, and how to improve your vocabulary naturally. So if you care about improving your English listening to life-changing stories and watching videos that make you feel something real, then hit the subscribe button now and share this video with someone who loves stories or English. Part 1. A boy named Nelson. Nelson Mandela was born in 1918 in a small village in South Africa. His birth name was Ralilala, which means pulling the branch of a tree. Later, a teacher gave him the name Nelson. Nelson was a curious boy. He asked questions. He listened. He learned. He saw injustice. He saw unfair rules. He saw people treated badly because of their skin color. Nelson wanted change. Nelson wanted freedom. Nelson wanted peace. He studied law. He became a lawyer. He helped people. He spoke for justice. Part 2. Apartheid, a system of separation. In South Africa, there was a system called apartheid. Apartheid means separateness. It was a law. It was a rule. It was unfair. White people had power. Black people had no voice. Black people had no rights. Nelson Mandela said, "This is wrong. This must change." He joined a group called the ANC, African National Congress. They wanted equality. They wanted freedom. Mandela spoke. Mandela marched. Mandela protested. But the government did not listen. The government arrested him. Part 3. Prison years, 27 years of silence. In 1962, Mandela was arrested. He was sent to prison. He stayed in prison for 27 years. He lived in a small cell. He had little food. He had no freedom. But Mandela did not give up. He read books. He wrote letters. He stayed strong. He said, "I am not free, but my mind is free. My heart is free." People outside remembered him. People outside marched. People outside said, "Free Mandela." The world listened. The world cared. The world waited. Part 4. Freedom comes slowly. In 1990, Mandela was released. He walked out of prison. He smiled. He was free. But South Africa was not free. The people were still divided. The pain was still deep. Mandela said, "We must forgive. We must unite. We must build peace." He worked with leaders. He worked with enemies. He worked with hope. In 1994, South Africa had its first free election. All people could vote. All voices could be heard. Nelson Mandela became president. He was the first black president of South Africa. Part 5. Leading with Love. In 1994, Nelson Mandela became the first black president of South Africa. It was a historic moment. It was a powerful moment. It was a moment of hope. People danced in the streets. People cried tears of joy. People said, "We are free." But Mandela knew the work was not finished. The country was still divided. The pain was still deep. The wounds of apartheid were still fresh. Mandela had a choice. He could lead with anger. He could lead with revenge. But he chose something different. He chose love. He chose forgiveness. He chose unity. Forgiveness, not revenge. Mandela had spent 27 years in prison. He had suffered. He had lost time. He had lost family. But he did not hate. He did not seek revenge. He said, "As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison." Mandela forgave the people who jailed him. He forgave the people who hurt his people. He forgave the system that tried to silence him. Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is strength. Mandela showed the world that love is stronger than hate. Building a new nation. As president, Mandela worked to build a new South Africa. A South Africa for everyone, black, white, rich, poor. He said, "We are one nation. We are one people. We must walk together." He created new laws. He supported education. He helped build homes. He helped create jobs. He worked with people from all sides. He worked with former enemies. He worked with former jailers. He said, "If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner." Truth and reconciliation. Mandela helped create the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It was a place where people could tell their stories. Victims of apartheid spoke. They shared their pain. They shared their truth. People who had done wrong also spoke. They admitted their actions. They asked for forgiveness. It was not easy. It was not perfect. But it was powerful. It helped the country heal. It helped the country move forward. Mandela believed that truth brings healing. He believed that honesty brings peace. A symbol of unity, the Rugby World Cup. In 1995, South Africa hosted the Rugby World Cup. Rugby was a sport loved by white South Africans. Many black South Africans saw it as a symbol of apartheid. But Mandela saw an opportunity. He wore the jersey of the national team. He stood with the players. He cheered for the team. When South Africa won, the stadium chanted, "Nelson, Nelson, Nelson." That moment showed the world that sport can unite. That moment showed the world that love can lead. A humble leader. Mandela served as president for 5 years. He could have stayed longer, but he chose to step down. He said, "I have done my duty. It is time for others to lead." He did not hold on to power. He gave it away with grace. He showed the world that true leaders serve. True leaders listen. True leaders lift others up. Part 6. A Legacy That Lives On. Nelson Mandela passed away in 2013. He was 95 years old. The world mourned. The world cried. The world remembered. But Mandela's story did not end. His story lives on. His message lives on. His legacy lives on. Mandela taught us many things. He taught us about freedom. He taught us about forgiveness. He taught us about hope. Mandela's global impact. Mandela was not just a leader for South Africa. He became a leader for the world. People in every country knew his name. People in every country knew his story. In schools, children learn about Mandela. In books, writers tell his story. In speeches, leaders quote his words. Mandela said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." This quote is famous. This quote is true. This quote is powerful. Mandela Day. Every year, on July 18th, people celebrate Mandela Day. It is his birthday. But it is more than a birthday. It is a day of action. It is a day of kindness. People give 67 minutes of service. Why 67? Because Mandela spent 67 years fighting for justice. People clean parks. People help the poor. People teach children. People spread love. Mandela Day is not just a holiday. It is a reminder. It reminds us to be good. It reminds us to be brave. It reminds us to be kind. Mandela's words are simple. Mandela's words are strong. Mandela's words are remembered. He said, "I am not a saint, unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying." It always seems impossible until it is done. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin. These words teach us. These words guide us. These words inspire us. Mandela's lessons. Mandela taught us to forgive. He forgave the people who put him in prison. He forgave the people who hurt him. He forgave the system that tried to break him. He said, "Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies." Mandela taught us to lead with love. He did not lead with anger. He did not lead with revenge. He led with peace. He taught us to listen. He taught us to learn. He taught us to grow. Mandela's legacy in South Africa. In South Africa, Mandela is everywhere. His face is on money. His name is on buildings. His statue stands tall. But his real legacy is in the people. It is in the hearts of South Africans. It is in the hope of the youth. It is in the unity of the nation. South Africa is still healing. South Africa is still growing. But Mandela gave it a path. Mandela gave it a light. Mandela's legacy around the world. In America, leaders speak of Mandela. In Europe, schools teach about Mandela. In Asia, people admire Mandela. In Africa, Mandela is a hero. He is a symbol of peace. He is a symbol of strength. He is a symbol of change. Mandela's story is not just history. It is a guide. It is a lesson. It is a gift. From the biography of Mandela. What did we learn? We learned that change takes time. We learned that peace is powerful. We learned that one person can change the world. Nelson Mandela did not use hate. He used love. He did not use violence. He used peace. His story teaches us to be brave. His story teaches us to forgive. His story teaches us to hope.